Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Phoenix International Raceway for the second race of the FBRL Napa Truck Series 2021 season. Jordan Fisher on pole here today with Chris Dodd to his outside. Row 2, Dajon Weeks driving the truck that won this race last season. To his outside, Sebastian Cucalon, the man that won this race last season. Ryan Butcher, 3 career wins in the Napa Truck Series, a series leading mark. To his outside, defending Sony Cup Series champion, Luke Martin. Tyler Black, Malik Nevins, both finished inside the top 10 here a year ago. We'll see if they can back up that finish again with another top 10 today. JD Martin, Alexa Lucian with a great run in the Daytona 200 a week ago. And there's Blake Warren, the man who won the Daytona 200. He starts a little bit outside the top 10. We'll see if he can work his way inside the top 10 here today. Ryan Dagley had a great run going a year ago. Top 3 truck. Ended up having a tire go down, had to pit. To his outside, Kyle Springer in the truck that came close to winning this race a year ago. We'll see how Springer does in that truck here today. S3 Motorsports with 3 trucks in the field today. Griffin Label McDermott in that 25. We'll see if GLM can score that first career top 10 finish. Cody Lamas will be driving the Crossroads number 10 today. We'll see how he can do in the truck that James Ellison was riding at the back with at Daytona. Zachary Bilson, the teammate to that 10 truck, a few rows back. Jordan Presto in the 51. Will Goss had a great run here a year ago. Charles Sanford making his Napa Truck Series debut in the 89 from Morris Motorsports. To his outside, Roberto Crown Jr. in his Beyblade colors. As we get towards the rear of the field, Zachary DeLello, Francois Chastain, Ricky Freeman Jr. A lot of drivers not happy with Ricky Freeman Jr. after the Daytona 200. Brett Houck might be one of them. He just about got turned to the infield wall by the 87 of Samet Oskin. As we get into the drivers who made the race on provisionals, Ian Brandt, Samet Oskin, those guys used up provisionals for this race here today. And in the final row, the 66 making its first race of the year with Nick Breeding. And to his outside, the 22 driven by Nick Pericles, as we'll go trackside for the command to fire engines.
All right, guys, let's do this. Drivers, start your engines.
As the field rolls off of pit road, you'll see your did not qualify list at one side or at one top to bottom of the screen. Not sure what's going to happen here post-edit. 94 laps of action on tap for today's race to kick off the first intermediate race on the season. 94 laps. Last year's race was 78 laps. We'll see how that shakes up the pit strategy. Expected pit window is about lap 37 to 42. Fastest in practice was Ryan Butcher with a 28.222. We'll see if anybody runs something faster than that here in the race. Butcher starts in 5th place. Overall in practice we had 4 Toyotas, 3 Fords, 2 Chevys, and 1 Ram as we are green flag racing from Phoenix. Dajon Weeks already making a peek to the inside of Fisher, but he checks up, gives Fisher the preferred line, and Fisher will clear Chris Dodd going into turn 3 after passing over through the dogleg. Phoenix, one of those unique tracks. 1 mile in length, relatively flat, with unique corners all over the racetrack, including that dogleg on the back straightaway. Look at Dajon Weeks driving it into the inside of Chris Dodd. Dodd making his first start in this Joseph Shrigley Racing number 16 truck. JSR announced earlier in the week that they had entered a partnership with Caesar Autosport in the Napa Truck Series. We'll see how that pays dividends to Caesar Autosport or not. We saw Chase Dunbar qualify decently well. Boston Jones, not so much. As As here's the man who is probably still the favorite to win this championship by many people, despite finishing last place, 40th place at Daytona 1 week ago, after getting annihilated coming out of his pit box by Ricky Freeman Jr. Luke got a good starting position here today. He was second in practice. We'll see what Luke Martin is able to do here in the opening stages of the race. Looking at the back of the field, one of the trucks that finished top 10 in the Daytona 200 was the 22 truck driven by Kyle Collins. This week, it's Nick Pericles behind the wheel of the number 22 Tim Hortons Ram for Team Velocity. Pericles got into the race as the last driver in on a provisional, which was provisional time due to the 22 not having any provisionals to use. So Pericles had to start in 40th place, but he has already gained 3 positions, looking for more, as the 34 of Rubino Gonzalez had a poor qualifying effort, starting 36th place. This is the truck that won 2 races last year with Tyler Black. So far, Rubino's experience showing, or rather inexperience showing, here in the early goings of race 2. A few spots ahead is the 33 of Ricky Freeman Jr. Several drivers, as mentioned in the pre-race show, more than several at that, not pleased with Ricky Freeman Jr. staying on the racetrack with a damaged off-pace race truck. Currently riding in 31st place in front of Francois Chastain, and behind Tommy Roberts Racing's teammate to Rubino, Roberto Crown Jr. Charles Sanford making his debut here in the Napa Truck Series, qualified Morris Motorsports in. Brandon Morris himself, though, did not make the race. So far, Charles holding his own just inside the top 30. As Roberto Crown Jr. looking to maybe make it 3 wide on Zachary DeLello and Bob Burns. But Roberto thinking better of it. Here's another driver that finished top 10 at Daytona. At that, top 5, Christopher Jones finished in 5th for Young Motorsports. Christopher Jones was running decently well for Malley Motorsports a year ago here at this racetrack, in what was the team's first race before they closed down later in the year, leaving Christopher Jones without a ride. Christopher Jones currently riding in 25th, but trying to make his way forward. Where is teammate AJ Jones? AJ Jones has made it up to 9th, ahead of JD Martin. As Ryan Butcher has made it up to 3rd, Dajon Weeks has made it up to 2nd. It was back on lap 7, coming to lap 8, that Dajon Weeks made the move to the outside of Chris Dodd for 2nd place. And you see Dajon just using the Shade Binyaka Racing 05 Nationwide truck to its full power, just straight up passing Chris Dodd with ease on the outside line. Dodd would challenge back into turn 3. But Dajon gets that run and just powers on by for the position. Ryan Butcher would follow him past for 3rd. Battle is now on for 2nd place as Ryan Butcher looks to make it a Anjato 1-2. Fisher has led all 10 laps from the pole here at Phoenix Raceway today. Butcher now looking to take 2nd from Dajon Weeks, behind Luke Martin, under fire from Tyler Black, who's looking for 5th. Tyler Black finished in 5th place here a year ago. Blake Warren finished 3rd. Dewey Schramm III had a top 10 outing here, finishing 6th, and Malik Nevins finished 9th. Those are the 4 drivers plus Cucalon who won the race that finished inside the top 10 at this track 1 year ago. And interestingly enough, out of all of those drivers, none of them returned to the team they got that finish with. Black continuing to push the issue on the outside, while Butcher's pushing the issue on the inside. So it just goes to show that Phoenix Raceway, it's very hard to make moves, whether it's to the bottom or the top, And Butcher, man, Butcher gets it done on the inside line, taking second place away from Dajon Weeks. Meanwhile, Tyler Black is still having issues clearing Luke Martin for 5th place, and he's trying to do it on the outside. You'd think he'd have a little more grip in that Single C Racing KFC Ford, but he's just not able to get it done. Teammate Sebastian Cucalon kind of just riding in 7th place right now, as battle is on for 8th between Malik Nevins and AJ Jones, who has been showing some great pace here today so far. He's not in the top 10 on lap times, but he's definitely showing some good speed here. This would be a record run for Gatlin Downey Incorporated. Not sure if Austin Rogers finished in the top 10 for GDI last year at all. But for Malik Nevins, getting the top 10 in just his 2nd race with the team would be quite something. He finished 11th a week ago at Daytona. Just inside the top 10 is JD Martin. Kyle Springer is looking for that position. Quite the opposite scenery for the 56 truck this year at Phoenix. Last year, Samuel England, the 2019 Napa Pro Series champion, had this truck leading the race early on. But right now, it's Kyle Springer who is looking to put the truck inside the top 10. Here on lap 16, Cody Goforth in 12th place. Alexa Lushon finished runner-up in Daytona. She's currently running in 13th. There's Griffin Lapel McDermott, the other S3 trucks, right there in 14th and 15th. As Larry Hagan, who was by far the fastest truck at Daytona, leading 38 laps, which was a race high, got stuck behind Ricky Freeman Jr. and ended up finishing in 21st place. He's back here racing with teammate Blake Warren for 16th and potentially a top 15 spot, while Luke Martin is at the front of the field inside the top 5. Just want to talk about Cody Lamas here, driving for Crossroads Racing this week instead of Shea Binyako Racing, who he drove for at Daytona. Lamas finished 18th in that race, but he was up front showing good speed and good pace in the 05 machine. Dajon is showing that same pace here today, but as Gatlin Downey passes Cody Lamas for 18th place, Lamas is getting the most out of this Crossroads Racing truck. I'm not sure what the expectations were coming into this race for the 10 team, but if it was top 25 or top 30, I'd say Cody is definitely blowing away those expectations here today, as he's got Aria Carmona just behind them, holding on to 20th place. Carmona finishing 29th at Daytona, as now she's challenging him for 19th place. Back at the front of the field, a couple of position changes going on. Dajon Weeks has taken 2nd place back from Ryan Butcher, as Luke Martin is going to attempt to clear Chris Dodd for 4th. Luke was able to hold off Tyler Black's charge on the outside line. And Luke Martin, who's the only one with rookie stripes up here, is going to take 4th place, as now Dajon Weeks is challenging Jordan Fisher for the race lead. Fisher has led the entire race so far today, with no signs of slowing down. He definitely appears to have one of the best trucks on the track, and track position is really big here today at Phoenix. We're not really seeing anybody move their way forward very quickly. So needless to say, qualifying well was very important here today at Phoenix, as Ryan Butcher is once again challenging Dajon Weeks for 2nd place. Luke Martin looking to maybe challenge for 3rd, as it looks like that Jack Daniels Coca-Cola Ram is starting to come to life now. He will challenge Butcher for 3rd. So you're starting to see, maybe with the tie here, that the drivers are able to hook the inside a little better than they could in the beginning of the run. We're past the halfway mark of the run right now. Remember, 37 to 42 lap pit window So lap 19 to 21, about the halfway mark of the run. Chris Dodd in 5th. Tyler Black 6th. He's looking for the top 5 spot now. That was a little dicey. As Cucalon rides in 7th. AJ Jones just kind of chilling back here in 8th. As Malik Nevins has fallen off and Kyle Springer has made his way inside the top 10. You got to give props to Dajon Weeks. He is trying to make the inside line work to get by Jordan Fisher. Now he's under challenge from Luke Martin for 2nd place. And oh, smoke! Who's that coming from? It's coming from the 05 of Dajon Weeks. Oh, get down safely, AJ Jones. There's a gap right there. Dajon Weeks has lost the motor. And his Sony Cup Series curse has followed him down into the Napa Truck Series. The bad luck continues for the young driver. Now, will that bring out a caution? We saw Luke Martin have a ton of smoke and oil dropped on the apron at Daytona a week ago. And yes, indeed it has. The caution has come out due to oil and fluids on the racing surface. Dajon blew up coming out of turn 2 and wasn't able to get to the apron until he got to turn 3. And Jordan Fisher will be your leader under the first caution flag of the day. Everybody coming down pit road here under caution. Likely going to see everyone take 4 tires and fuel. That 3rd pit stall behind Jordan Fisher, that's where Dajon Weeks' stall was. That's going to allow Cucalon to get out rather easily, and he has angled himself for that as well. Luke Martin, the first one to leave a stall. Jordan Fisher will get out first. Martin 2nd, Black 3rd. Butcher and Jones side by side. Springer and Evans go for Cucalon. GLM, JD Martin, and Chris Dodd losing several positions on pit road. Dodd was 4th, I believe, coming into pit stops. Terrible stop by the Joseph Strigley Racing crew. Getting ready to go back racing here at Phoenix, and you can see, looking at the fastest lap time, that the 05 of Dajon Weeks had the best lap, and then he blew his engine. Hearing gearbox issues on the 05 truck for Shea Benyaka Racing. They'll have to get that checked out. Hopefully not a sign of a potential problem with the 83 teammate truck of Zachary DeLello. DeLello currently runs in 30th place. Gonna restart here on lap 32. Fisher, Luke Martin, Tyler Black, AJ Jones, Ryan Butcher, top 5. Kyle Springer, Malik Nevins, Cody Goforth, Sebastian Cucalon, and Griffin Label McDermott, top 10. GLM still looking for that first career top 10. Could it come today at Phoenix Raceway? Tyler Black peeking to the inside of Luke Martin, who's peeking to the inside of Jordan Fisher. Fisher has led every lap so far today. He's been challenged once by Dajon Weeks. Here comes Luke Martin, the Sony Cup Series champion, looking for the race lead coming to lap 33. And you gotta wonder how many teams were able to make adjustments to better themselves here at Phoenix Raceway today. I'm not sure why I always say it as adjustments. It's adjustments. I blame the Massachusetts in me. Luke Martin, though, with an edge, looking for that lead on Jordan Fisher. Can he lead a lap? Yes, he does. Luke Martin leads here at Phoenix. So that's the first lap Jordan Fisher has not led today. Too bad leading laps does not get you bonus points. Tyler Black right there in 3rd. Ryan Butcher looking for 4th behind on AJ Jones, who got this position on pit strategy, or rather a better pit stop, as Nick Pericles is on pit road for some reason. This was coming to the restart. Right at the start finish line, something breaks on Nick Pericles' number 22 Ram, and he pulls it down to the apron right away. Not sure why the officials haven't thrown a caution for this. That's on a decent portion of the racetrack. We'll have to see if this affects anything. Racing for a top 10 position is Chris Dodd and Griffin Lapel McDermott, who we've mentioned several times over, does not have a top 10 to his name in the Napa Truck Series. He's racing against one of the best Sony Cup Series drivers there is right now. Dodd will take 10th at the start-finish line. J.D. Martin, Larry Hagan racing right behind them for, I believe that is 12th place. See Alexa Lushon there in 14th place. Gatlin Downey 15th. Blake Warren, Ryan Dagby. As the caution lights are on, we've got a crash somewhere, I'm presuming. As Christopher Jones has made his way forward, he is now inside the top 20. But Jordan Fisher holds on to the lead, and it looks like it has something to do with the 67 of Chase Dunbar and the 54 of Eric Carmona. And oh man, there are skid marks coming out of turn 2. And you gotta wonder, was it a bad idea for the officials to hold on to the yellow flag after watching the 22 of Nick Pericles break something? Well, here's a look at the replay. Eric Carmona racing with teammate Jordan Presto and Roberto Crown Jr. And oh man! Oh, and right up into Chase Dunbar, who had nowhere to go. Surprisingly, nobody else hit the 67 there. But shades of Willow Springs for Flipside Motorsports, as the teammates are at it again. Different drivers, different trucks. But you gotta wonder, was that really on Jordan Presto? Or did the oil get Carmona loose? It has been about 4 laps since the 22 and the restart. But you just gotta wonder if that wasn't all on Jordan Presto. I'm hearing we actually have an onboard with Presto this weekend. Jordan Presto gets this big run out of turn 4. He gets right up on the bumper of Carmona. Right there. Oh man, I'm just not really sure there. And then Carmona had saved it, but Chase Dunbar came in out of nowhere and just had no time to react. We'll see if we can get one more angle on this. Looking at it in our slow motion here, watching Chase Dunbar. He was racing just behind Presto and Carmona. Using our helicopter camera, you can see right there, it looks like Presto was just trying to get to the inside of Carmona. Right there, the contact starts, and Presto just does not lay off of her at all. And right there, just completely sideways. And then, yeah, just nowhere for Dunbar to go. Carmona hard into the outside wall, same for the 67. And then, oh man, Francois Chastain, it was almost a 3-truck incident once again. Nearly shades of Willow Springs when all 3 Flipside drivers were involved in an incident. Francois came close to making it a reenactment in the desert type thing there. But Dunbar with back end damage and perhaps some driver's side damage. We'll have to see how the performance is on both the 67 and the 54 truck once we get to the race restart. Getting ready to go back racing. Nobody came down pit road. They can't make it from here. I'm hearing maybe some drivers, or some teams rather, are concerned about using another set of tires and losing all their track position here if a majority of the field stays out. So nobody has come down pit road. Only Eric Carmona pit for her damage. Nick Pericles officially out of the race, hearing an ignition failure for the 22 team with Team Velocity. That's the first failure for Ram on the season. Surprisingly, we had 0 mechanical failures at Daytona. Jordan Fisher will lead him to the green. Luke Martin, Tyler Black, Ryan Butcher, Kyle Springer, top 5. AJ Jones, Cody Goforth, Sebastian Cucalon, Malik Nevins, Griffin Lapel, McDermott, top 10. All 3 single Z racing trucks are inside the top 10 as they're 3 wide already. Kyle Springer making a move on Butcher, who's making a move on Tyler Black. As Cody Goforth is making a move on AJ Jones. There's GLM to the inside of Malik Nevins. And Jordan Fisher now has the fastest lap time. He ran a 28.200 during that last little run. See Tyler Black, Ryan Butcher, and Larry Hagan also faster than what Dajon Weeks set in the 05 earlier. Springer trying to hold on to 5th over AJ Jones. Cucalon has made it past Goforth for 7th. So has Malik Nevins. As the race is on once again for the top 10. Never mind, race is on for 9th. Chris Dodd getting past Griffin Labo McDermott. Now he's looking for 9th on Cody Goforth. Dodd trying to get back that track position he lost from pit stops under the first caution. Intense side-by-side racing here. All day we've seen it here at Phoenix Raceway. Cucalon's going to dip to the inside line after Kyle Springer holds off AJ Jones. And you really got to wonder for Kyle Springer if this is a sign of good things to come. 2 seasons with TJ Smith Incorporated. And Springer, you know, finishing 14th last week at Daytona. Had arguably one of the best trucks next to Larry Hagan. Hasn't had much go right for his career. I believe 1 top 5. A 2nd place at Talladega, I believe, last year. To my knowledge, I could be wrong. It might have been in 2019. But Springer really showing that, you know, he's got some kind of talent, or perhaps all the combined experience and being in a much better truck is just paying off for him here today. But Sebastian Cucalon is right there now, challenging him for 5th place. As the top 4 have started to just kind of inch away from the rest of the field. Jordan Fisher, Luke Martin, 2 Sony Cup Series regulars. Luke Martin now a Napa Truck Series regular, with Ryan Butcher and Tyler Black arguably the 2 best drivers right now in the Napa Truck Series. 3 career wins for Butcher, 2 of which came last year, and 2 career wins for Tyler Black, which also came last year. As Black will now challenge Ryan Butcher for 3rd place. Butcher leads the series with the most career wins at 3. However, nobody in the Napa Truck Series short history has won 3 races in a season. We had several drivers win 2 races last season, and we had, I believe, 1 driver win 2 races in 2019, and I believe that was Nicholas Guerrera. So I'm sure these drivers and more are trying to make history by being the first to hit 3 wins on a season, but it's still early, 22 race season. Very likely, I feel like someone could win 3 races this year. But you never know. A lot of new tracks on the schedule this year, such as the Pensacola Road Course, which we go to after Willow Springs. That's the first standalone race, as Luke Martin challenging for the lead on Fisher again. Knoxville, going back to dirt, which we visited Eldora in 2019. And then the International Tour is sure to be exciting. Karjala over in Finland. Pukaka's hosting a doubleheader with an inverted starting lineup for the 2nd race from the finishing results of the 1st race. Pensacola Super Speedway. And then the round of Massachusetts, which that track is being kept under wraps. That will likely be announced at a later date. What a rebound for Chris Dodd. He's made it back up to 7th place, and he's challenging Sebastian Cucalon now for 6th, as you see the gap from Dodd to AJ Jones, who has been fast enough to keep his truck inside the top 10. But it doesn't seem like he's fast enough to keep a position higher than 8th place. Griffin Labo McDermott in 9th, as Larry Hagan has cracked his head into the top 10, getting by Cody Goforth. Malik Nevins has fallen outside of the top 10. as JD Martin and Gatlin Downey are now challenging for that position. Alexa Lushon kind of been quiet today, just kind of running around 14th, 15th place. Same with Ryan Dagby, 16th place. Christopher Jones, 17th. Dewey Schramm, the third, has made it up to 18th. Cody Lamas, 19th, just kind of been chilling here all day too. There's Jordan Presto in 20th. Denny Watson, Zachary DeLello, kind of just going through the field here. Bob Burns, 25th. As we have another caution on the racetrack. It's going to be the third one on the day. No sign of anybody crashing. So not quite sure. Oh, it looks like Rubino Gonzalez and Blake Warren might have gotten into it. We'll have to check the replay and find out for sure here. Blake Warren was racing in 16th place when something expired on his Ram YouTube number 8 machine, and oh lordy, TJ Smith just about gets bodied onto the apron. Contact continuing to be made, doors being slammed. Oh, and then TJ almost got turned into the pit wall. Now that is not why the caution came out. Up ahead, Rubino Gonzalez, the very next lap, he's coming into turn 3, and I think he hit something that got dropped by Blake Warren's truck, and that destroyed his truck. And then at this point, the officials, they're just seeing a ton of fluid in turn 3 and the dog leg, and they elect to throw the yellow flag. So third caution flag of the day due to excessive oil on the racing surface. Wow, crazy. Everybody's going to bring it down pit road here. Lap 54 of 94. And that should have everybody good to go from here on this pit stop. So we will likely see a 4-tire stop, filling it up on gas. Some drivers, I'm not sure though, they might be right on the edge. It is a 37 to 42 lap window, so depending on how much fuel these drivers use could really impact the finish of this race. Fisher, Luke Martin, Tyler Black, Springer, Cucalon, Butcher, AJ Jones, GLM, Hagan, and Chris Dodd once again losing time on pit road. But that is the running order as they run. We'll get you guys to the race restart. Getting ready to go back green here once again at Phoenix International Raceway. Rubino Gonzalez and Blake Warren, different manufacturers, identical issues, something to do with pistons. So a piston breaking inside each truck. That's the second Ram mechanical issue on the day. And you got to be worried if you're a Breeding Enterprises driver, because Team Velocity is supplied technical equipment from Breeding. And 22 lost something first. And now the 8, the Daytona 200 winner, Blake Warren, man, from winning last week to finishing 38th this week. And then Rubino Gonzalez, not a good sign for Tommy Roberts Racing. If you're JD Martin or Roberto Crown Jr., you're sweating maybe just a little bit. But we still got 36 trucks on the racetrack. Jordan Fisher will lead them to the green. Luke Martin, Tyler Black, Kyle Springer, Sebastian Cucalon, the top 5. Ryan Butcher, AJ Jones, Griffin Lapel McDermott, Larry Hagan, and Chris Dodd, the top 10. As Ryan Butcher's not wasting any time, 3 wide underneath Cucalon and Springer. And in front of him, Tyler Black looking for second on Luke Martin. But you gotta wonder, is this all they're gonna be doing here today for the rest of the race? Racing for second. We saw Luke Martin challenge Jordan Fisher earlier, but aside from him and Dajon Weeks, nobody has been up there to challenge Jordan Fisher's lead today. Springer's gonna lose a position to Cucalon and Butcher, as now Griffin Label McDermott's gonna make it 3 wide on Springer and AJ Jones. GLM falling backwards. Butcher falling back on the inside line too. So Butcher up to 5th since the restart. Him and Cucalon getting by Springer. So now AJ Jones is looking to get by Kyle Springer. So Springer currently going backwards. As up ahead of them, Tyler Black is looking for 2nd place. But the longer you battle side by side here, the more distance you get put between you and the leader of Jordan Fisher, and the more the people behind you start to close up, as Ryan Butcher has made it up to 4th place, passing Sebastian Cucalon. Tyler Black still trying to work that inside line as Fisher kind of inching away, kind of not inching away. As there you see the best lap times on the day now belong to the 4 and the 80. A 28.144 by race leader Jordan Fisher. And a 28.156 by teammate Ryan Butcher. Cucalon holding on to 5th place right now. Springer has made it back by AJ Jones for 6th as contact was made there. That was dicey. Good save by the 56. He got a little out of whack from, I think, the 12, giving him a bump. As Griffin labeled McDermott. Can he get the dream done today? First career top 10. And then you gotta wonder, what's to go next? Top 5? Win? Still a long ways to go here. Over 30 laps of action left. As Chris Dodd is right on his left rear quarter panel. As Larry Hagan is looking to take 8th place away. On the outside, Hagan's going to get a good drive into turn 3. And Hagan will take away 8th place. Up ahead, Tyler Black has fallen back from his battle with Luke Martin, as Luke Martin just closed the gap 0.2 of a second on Jordan Fisher. Once Tyler Black was to his outside, Luke Martin really got a good lap time in there. And now Tyler Black got his hands full with Ryan Butcher and the rest of the field behind him. Want to just take a look at the back of the field here before things really start heating up at the front of the field. We're coming to 30 laps to go. Ariya Carmona in 36th place due to her damage sustained in the crash with Jordan Presto and Chase Dunbar. You see Samet Oskin running in 35th. As Nick Breeding racing with Boston Jones, so it doesn't look like that alliance with Joseph Shigley Racing is paying off right away. Dunbar was just outside the top 20 though, so not sure how much you can say that. But Boston Jones also with a lot of inexperience to his name. But he's up here racing with Nick Breeding, who's driving for Burns Motorsports, getting their first start on the year. 66 truck being split by several drivers. They were going to have somebody run full time, but those plans changed and they reverted to a 1-truck operation. They're right behind Charles Sanford, who gave Morris Motorsports their first start on the year. Charles currently riding in 31st place behind TJ Smith. Francois Chastain, Brett Houck, Bob Burns just inside the top 30. There's Ian Brandt in the truck Kyle Springer used to drive. He's riding behind an Alliance teammate, Zachary Bilson, who's got the other Crossroads truck in 25th. Cody Lamas 18th at the start-finish line that time by. Ricky Freeman Jr., he was riding outside of the top 30 in the first half of the race, beginning of the race. He has found his way up into the top 25, racing Jordan Presto for a 23rd place. Presto's going to take that position away from him easily. The Toyotas have showed a lot of grip in the corners this week. And, I mean, that's really what it comes down to at a track like this, even with the low drag package. How about Benny Watson? 22nd place. Watson and Ricky Freeman Jr. are full-blooded, fresh-faced rookies. And they're up here racing with guys who've got some experience. Dewey Schramm III just outside the top 20. Behind Roberto Crown Jr., Zachary DeLello in the other SBR truck. He is in 19th place. The aforementioned Cody Lamas in 18th, Christopher Jones 17th. Brian Dagby racing Alexa Luchon for 15th. It's definitely a lot better than 31st place. As JD Martin is leading the team for Tommy Roberts Racing in 14th. He's right behind Cody Goforth and Gatlin Downey, who are behind Malik Nevins and Larry Hagan. Nevins and Hagan racing there for the top 10 for a moment. But now Hagan holding on to the position as we get back to the top 10. GLM in 9th. Chris Dodd back up to 8th. AJ Jones 7th. Springer 6th. Cucalon in 5th. As Tyler Black is once again challenging Luke Martin for 2nd place. And now to his outside comes Ryan Butcher, looking for 3rd. You gotta wonder, what can Butcher do? We've seen him, I believe, as high as 3rd all race long. Pit stops haven't really been his friend. It's been kind of pushing him back a few spots in the running order every time. Every time being both times, since we only pit twice. But Butcher is gonna take 3rd place away from Tyler Black. Remember, Jordan Fisher, he might be running these first, I believe, 3 races as part of the SCS, NTS shared weekends. But after Willow Springs, Jordan Fisher, I believe, doesn't get in the truck again until, I want to say, Atlanta? It's Atlanta or Chicagoland. I'm not quite sure on the Pacifics. I know the Sony Cup Series schedule changed a lot this year too. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Fisher's running these first 3 races, and then we're not going to see him for a while. So really, Butcher's really got to focus on Luke Martin right now, because a lot of people thought Luke Martin was going to start off the year strong. He comes into this race with a single point. Butcher not much better, only 9 points, because Butcher got held up by the lap truck a lot too. But so 2 of the big favorites, Butcher and Luke Martin, they've got their work cut out for them. You know, Tyler Black finished 8th at Daytona. Cucalon finished in 23rd. Kyle Springer 14th. AJ Jones 22nd. Griffin Lapel McDermott finished in 28th. And then Larry Hagan 21st. So that's the top 10 right now. And the points format this year, guys, if you're not aware, it's very big. It's a lot different than it was a year ago. If you win the race, you get 60 points. Second, 54 points. That's a 6-point gap from 1st to 2nd. It was a 5-point gap last year. Last year, the points after 2nd went down a point of position. It doesn't work like that anymore, as Butcher is looking for 2nd place on Luke Martin. From 2nd to 3rd place, it's a 4-point gap, 54 points to 50 points. 3rd to 4th, 50 to 46. 4th to 5th, 46 to 43. So finishing top 3, top 5 gets you a lot of points, because the gap from 5th to 6th is 3 points as well, 43 points to 40. Every position down the top 10 from 6th to 10th is a 2-point difference. 40 points for 6th, 38 for 7th, 36, 34, 32 for 10th, and then 11th gets 30 points, so that's another 2-point difference just for finishing top 10 or not. And then we go down a point all the way to 40th place, where you get a single point on the day. Butcher's not giving up on this 2nd place position. We've seen a lot of drivers be able to challenge for a position for a few laps, and then if they can't get it done, they tend to fall back in line, or something like this will happen, where the next driver in line is challenging them back for that position. Battle is on for 5th place, as Kyle Springer will take it away from Sebastian Cucalon. Chris Dodd up to 7th. Griffin Lapel McDermott trying to take 8th place back from AJ Jones. Now Chris Dodd is challenging Cucalon for 6th. Hagan kind of just holding on to 10th. What a day, though, for Malik Nevins and Gatlin Downey Incorporated. This team started off strong last year. Things kind of faded a bit for them. They ended up being mid-pack, but Malik Nevins and his experience has really given them the best they can get out of this truck right now in the early stages of the season, as he's going to put a dive on Larry Hagan for 10th place. The other GDI truck, a Dewey Schramm III, in 21st right now. So I'm not sure if the leaders are going fast enough to catch lap traffic. It's about 28 seconds to get around here with new tires, 29 with halfway through the run tires. It's only about a 0.5 of a second difference from Nick Breeding in 36th to whatever Fisher is running up front, as Nevins will take 10th place away from Larry Hagan. Roberto Crown Jr. at some point ran a 28.214. He's back here racing with Jordan Presto for 20th place position, as Presto has rebounded from whatever issue he had on the second pit stop. He was 20th going in, and then he fell back to, I believe, 24th. But Presto has moved himself back up to 20th. Presto's got the most experience out of the Flipside team. Not the start to the season Flipside wanted after switching from Chevy to Toyota. They really thought they were going to get a lot more out of these trucks. But I think the experience level of the drivers they signed is really hindering what they've got. And I think once the season goes on and Presto, Chastain, and Carmona really start to figure this truck out on each type of track, I think you could say Flipside will be challenging for wins once again by season's end. That's my in-race prediction here, as we'll be coming to 10 laps to go. Chastain running in 27th place. Carmona with damage has made her way back up through the field in 32nd. And, you know, we talked about the straightaway damage. I think Carmona definitely has a little bit of straightaway performance type damage. But her truck is so much faster in the turns. It's got so much grip that it's just outpacing Boston Jones, Samet Oskin, Chase Dunbar, and Nick Breeding, all of them in the middle of the turns, as TJ Smith is back here a lap down for some reason. Well, on lap 82 coming to 83, TJ Smith came down pit road and took left side tires only. So now the question mark has popped back up. Can all of these drivers make it on fuel to the end of the race? One thing's for sure, though, this 6 truck is going to be flying. Back at the front of the field, Griffin Label McDermott has made it by AJ Jones for 8th place, as Chris Dodd is trying to get by Sebastian Cucalon for 6th. Now, this Joseph Strigley Racing 16 truck is not running the full schedule, so these owner points are not going to carry over, I believe, into 2022. But they're just trying to keep their equipment up to date. They're trying to go for these wins. And Chris Dodd is just trying to do everything he can, but it just doesn't look like he's got what it takes to maybe make a pass on Cucalon here on the inside line. Meanwhile, in front of them, Ryan Butcher going for 2nd place on Luke Martin, looking for a chance to maybe challenge teammate Jordan Fisher for the race lead. We'll be coming to 7 laps to go at Phoenix. Jordan Fisher has led all but 1 lap, where Luke Martin was racing him for the lead earlier. Can Butcher clear Martin off of turn 2? He's getting pretty close to a clear here. Martin trying to fight back on the outside and put Ryan Butcher up to P2. It's an Anjado 1-2. Gatlin Downey currently down in 12th place. 6 laps to go at Phoenix, and Ryan Butcher is going to challenge his teammate for the race lead. Behind them, Tyler Black starting to make the peak for 3rd. Springer's sitting alone in 5th. If these guys start fighting, that's going to let them close right on up. Butcher to the inside of Fisher coming out of turn 4. Nothing going for Ryan Butcher. Nothing going for Tyler Black. 5 laps to go that time at the start-finish line. Tire wear is really starting to set in. It's about 2 seconds of fall off. They're down running in the 30 seconds. I don't believe we're going to see anybody get caught as lap traffic. We haven't used the spectator camera all day. Just look at it from the fans' point of view. There you see Tyler Black trying to get something on Luke Martin. Ryan Butcher kind of just now riding in line behind Jordan Fisher. Look at Butcher with the mid-corner drop to the inside of Fisher. Oh, he got really tight there. 3 laps to go. Oh, there's a lot of distance there. Butcher looks like he's able to dive it in under the brakes a lot better than Jordan Fisher is. Tyler Black has just about cleared Luke Martin for 3rd. And now Springer is under fire from Chris Dodd for 5th, who's made it by Sebastian Cucalon. And Tyler Black will clear Luke Martin for 3rd. Coming to 2 to go. Ryan Butcher still looking to the inside for the race lead. Luke Martin doesn't give up. Luke Martin back to the outside of Tyler Black for 3rd. That's 4 points for the championship there between Black and Martin. 6 points here for Butcher. He takes it or loses it. It doesn't really matter to Fisher. Fisher's just here trying to get a win. Coming to the white flag. Butcher with the advantage off the corner. And Butcher's going to lead a lap at the start-finish line. More drivers on pit road. That's Ian Brandt and I believe Charles Sanford. Coming off of turn 2, they're dead even. Luke Martin will pass Tyler Black back for 3rd. Fisher has led almost the entire race. Into turn 3 they go. Did Butcher get him? It looks like he did. Off of turn 4. Ryan Butcher with the last lap pass gets his 4th career win in the Napa Truck Series, a record-extending mark. Jordan Fisher leads all but 3 laps just to lose the race at the end to Napa Truck Series regular teammate Ryan Butcher. Wow, that's insane. Butcher had to work for it too, because it is so hard to make a pass here on the inside line. Ian Brandt and Charles Sanford came down the pit right at the end. We're hearing a lot of drivers saying their fuel pressure is dropping. It looks like a lot of them were just able to make it there. But man, Ryan Butcher, what a way to start off this season. He didn't have a good run at Daytona because of lap traffic, but here today he showed the field what he's made of. And now you gotta wonder, does the favorite focus shift? Ryan Butcher was able to pass Jordan Fisher when Luke Martin could not. Is that Auto equipment talking over Breeding Enterprises equipment? Or is it perhaps a sign of decline for the defending Sony Cup Series champion? Either way, Luke Martin finishes in 3rd behind Fisher in 2nd. What an upset there right at the end. I mean, Fisher led literally 91 laps of this race from the pole just to lose it to Butcher at the end of the race. Tyler Black comes home 4th. Kyle Springer 5th. Chris Dodd 6th. Sebastian Cucalon 7th. Griffin Labo McDermott, ladies and gentlemen. First career Napa Truck Series top 10, 8th place finish here today at Phoenix. AJ Jones had a great run all day long. He gets the dub there in 9th for a top 10 on the year. Not sure why I said dub. And then Malik Nevins rounds out the top 10. And that does it for the top 10 finishing results. You can see Hagan there was a full 1.7 seconds behind Nevins, and then J.D. Martin was 1.1 seconds behind him. Well, that's going to do it for us here today at Phoenix International Raceway. the Napa Truck Series. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks' time for Willow Springs, where we had the strategy race of the year last year. Do you do the 2-stop strategy and get that tire wear erased from the end of your run, or do you go for the 1-stop and try to make it on 1 tank or 2 tanks of gas, I guess I could say, or a 1-stop? I don't know what I'm saying. It's been a long day. This race is over, and I will see you guys for Willow Springs. Here's your official finishing results. See you guys next time.